What is going on, guys? Welcome to another post-game recap here. And the Rangers beat the New Jersey Devils 5-1. Post-game reaction 57. They bent them the hell over in this one. And yeah, people pay to watch you score in Chris Paul moments. Yeah, I'm feeling a little douchey tonight. Yeah, I'm feeling a little energetic tonight because it's our 9th straight win. And I shouldn't even be feeling energetic because I'm battling a cold right now. But that game had me fired up in terms of watching Matt Rempe deliver a big hit, which shouldn't have been called for a 5-minute major. You want to call 2 minutes? Fine. I still think that would have been egregious. But they call 5 there because, how dare him be 6'8" and hit a guy in the head? What's expected there? You want to call charging there? Fine. I'm not going to argue that one here, but watching him throw the hit, Trouba throwing a hit later on, and even Mika Zibanejad throwing bod too. This is what was supposed to happen last year when the Rangers took on the Devils in that playoff series. It was supposed to go this way, where the Rangers just bullied them because the Devils are a fragile team. Joe Micheletti was saying it on the broadcast, and you could just tell with the body language after they couldn't even score on the 5 minutes. The Rangers didn't even put one on the board, and the Devils' body language was piss poor, and the Rangers took advantage of that and dummied them the rest of the night. Beautiful. Just beautiful. The shots do not indicate the way that game went. The Rangers were getting rush chances at will. Would have been nice for them to hit the net every now and then, but they were getting rush chances, capitalizing on them, and they did. Even though they allowed 40 shots, they played way better defensively than those shots indicated, because let's not forget that the Rangers did have to kill a 5-minute major, kill a double minor later in the game, and then they killed off another penalty. Special teams playing a huge role in this game, which has been a rarity to say lately. More so the power play, which converted tonight once. Would have liked for it to convert again, but that's if you're going to nitpick here. But yeah, the Devils going 0 for 5 on the power play. The Rangers went 1 for 5, and they did not really give the Devils much. They really didn't. And this is, like I said, Laviolette behind the bench last year. That series goes completely differently, and nights like this show it, because that team it's a clown show. I'm sorry, it's a clown show, and I respect some of the players on the Devils, and I respect what they did there with their rebuild, but I don't think it's egregious to say still that they were ahead of schedule last year, and that them making the playoffs was more so a pleasant surprise. They'll be back there and they'll be a dangerous team later on, no question. And I still respect some of the talent they have there. But Lindy Ruff behind the bench should not have outdueled anybody in a 7-game series. But Gerard Gallant was that much of a clown. But Panarin didn't show up. I get that. Zibanejad didn't show up. I get that. But he was dumbing people tonight. And that's what I'm hoping we get from him later on. Him and Kreider moving their feet tonight. Did you see the difference? Did you see the damn difference and why I'm so critical of those two in particular all season long? Why I was so aggravated early on in the season? Because those two are capable of performances like they gave tonight, where they're actually moving their damn feet, where they're actually bodying people. Kreider late in the game, too, had a nice little forecheck to get Mika a chance in front. That's the type of effort they need going forward. Miller, too, has been stepping up a bit lately. I liked Miller's game again tonight. The charts didn't, but I did. The transition game was beautiful in this game. Beautiful. The way that they transition from defense to offense, this is the sustainable way to win hockey games. You play the right way in your own end, you clog the neutral zone, and you get the chances that you get. You capitalize on those chances that you get. Lafreniere, a guy that we've been critical on for this season, not hitting the net. Well, he hit it twice tonight. Wish he got the hat trick, but this just beautiful. Beautiful watching Lafreniere. And it's crazy because Igor Shesterkin stops 39 of 40, and Lafreniere was the best player. Granted, the turnover that he had late in the game there, and Trouba screening Igor a bit on the last goal did suck, but I digress. It sucks that they played with their food a bit at the end and couldn't get Igor the shutout. That's the only other thing you could really nitpick in terms of what happened tonight. Outside of that, there's nothing really to complain about outside of maybe the officiating too, where that Rempe penalty was just egregious in my opinion. I still can't understand why they called that a penalty. Sorry, can't get it. But I just love what I'm seeing from this team lately. I love what I'm seeing. Granted, Dallas, they didn't play this way defensively. I will say that, but at least they're capitalizing on their chances and they're finding ways versus finding ways to lose. All of a sudden, they have 79 points again on the season. They're second in the NHL. They have a game in hand on Vancouver and could be first. Interesting. Did not even notice that. But I just, the difference, do you guys see too why I was saying for the longest time, why I was beating the damn drum to get a guy like Corey Perry? Because Matt Rempe comes in and the physical presence of Matt Rempe, it feels like it has become contagious through this team. They need that type of guy in this lineup going forward. Whether it's Rempe or whether they acquire a guy like that come the trade deadline, that's what they need. I will say this, as excited as I am, as fun as it is to beat the Devils and to be sitting here with 9 in a row, I am still standing by what I said, that March is going to be the measuring stick for this hockey team. And I don't think there's any way around it because, like I keep saying, that's where they play pretty much only playoff teams. In March, they play pretty much only playoff teams or just teams in contention at the least. That's going to be the difference, but I'm very happy right now with what I'm seeing. The first goal that they got, beautiful. You kill off that 5-minute major early in the first period too. And then you, right on the power play, you answer and you demoralize that Devils team by scoring right away. Granted, I don't think Mika meant to really get that goal there because he went for the pass. It ended up going off of the defenseman, get back to him, and then it trickled through the net. But still, that demoralized and deflated the Devils. And you knew right then and there the Devils didn't have a chance. You knew there was no chance. Yeah, Toffoli did have that takeaway on Panarin and then have a chance there. And then they took a penalty, but Igor was in his bag too. He made a huge stop on Haula there, which, by the way, he negated that. Then it was a 4-on-4. Luke Hughes turns the puck over, and Johnny Brzezinski with some nice pressure there. Way to play in your first game post getting a contract, and then Lafreniere nets one to make it a 2-0 hockey game. That first period, very good work there in terms of the special teams. The special teams was great. The defense was great. The only thing that I really wanted to see after that period was them generate some 5v5 offense, which I can't get on them too much because the game was very played at 5v5 throughout the entirety of the night regardless. But the second period rolls along and they do it again with their defensive effort. They do it again. I mean, they did take some penalties there. Trouba, though, with that huge hit on Bastian. Don't know why the Rangers don't come away with a double minor there, or a 4-minute power play, because Bastian got a roughing, should have got an instigator there as well. But you take it. They didn't score on the power play, but they did score shortly after as Igor Shesterkin just sets up Artemi Panarin, who feeds Chris Kreider, and look at him moving his feet, scores on a 2-on-1, 3-0. Then you have Jacob Trouba just bodying Luke Hughes as well. They're getting shorthanded chances. Mika bodied Luke Hughes also. And the Rangers late in the period made it 4-0. Lindgren, nice little stretch pass over to Trocheck to Panarin. Over to Lafreniere on the rush chance, 4-0. And the end, they got a little shaky there. I didn't like the last shift of that period, but still very good to see them get some great defensive effort again. And the rush chances they got, beautiful, just beautiful. In the third period too, they did start off a little shaky in that third period, which I didn't like. They did let New Jersey get a couple quality chances early, but then they settled down. And even though I've been complaining about them sitting back in third periods, at least they were defending well this third period after the first few minutes, because the first 2 to 5 minutes of the third period was a little ugly, but they settled down. And then Panarin the Trocheck on a rush, that got them another goal, 5-0. And then unfortunately they played with their food a bit and Hughes got that late goal. But this was just a nice, easy victory where I wasn't worried. I was not worried. I was a little from the 5-minute penalty. I'll be honest there, but once they killed that off, There wasn't a doubt in my mind. And that's the way I was feeling in October with this team. That's the way I was feeling in October. And the Devils having that much on special teams really carried their expected goals too. On 5v5, it was way less. The Rangers, it said, didn't have a lot either, but I don't know. I don't have an issue there. But before we jump further into the post-game show, leave a like if you have not already. Subscribe if you haven't already. We are now on the road to 3K. I almost said 5K. 5K would be beautiful. Imagine 5K subscribers on this channel. That'd be cool. But we're on the road to 3K subs. We just launched an Instagram page too. If somebody could link in the chat, Matt, if you're in the chat, I'd appreciate if you could link the new Instagram page that we set up in the chat. It is NYR Central _, I believe, or new NY Rangers Central _, I believe. Is that it? I'll read it out loud, but regardless, go give it a follow. We're gonna do a lot of content there. Yeah, at NY Rangers Central _. So go ahead. I'd appreciate it if you guys go give that Instagram page a follow, because we are going to, like I said, put out a lot of content. Follow the TikTok too, everything. I got to put the link in the description for these things. But regardless, I'm definitely feeling a lot better than I was a month ago. That's for damn sure. How about Adam Fox tonight too, having another good game, right? Lindgren had a better performance in this game. Even Schneider looked good at times. Him and Gustafsson annoyed me, but still wasn't bad. I don't know how Miller's low on the chart. I thought he had a good game. The only guy that was really invisible to me in this game was a guy like Adam Edstrom, which is unfortunate, but just the damn truth. I mean, even Barclay Goodrow had a nice little play there, denying entry from Hughes, trying to get through the zone. But yeah, this is just the way that this was supposed to go last year. This is the way it was supposed to go last year. And now you are seeing it. Now you're seeing it. And then they play an afternoon game against Philly now on Saturday. That sucks. I hate afternoon games, but we're going to have a podcast before then. Hopefully I'm feeling better for that, because this cold is annoying me. Then they got Columbus for 2 games. All right. Interesting little schedule coming up. And then they go to Toronto for some reason just to come back home and have a homestand. You got to love the schedule making. But yeah, I mean, the main takeaway is that, like, this is why I was critical, because you see the effort that these guys could actually give. It just feels like sometimes they're not willing to. And when they do, this is what you get. I just wish it was more consistent. But it's been consistent lately. And if it's going to stay consistent, I'm going to be very happy. Let's get to the chat and see what you guys have to say about this game. And I accidentally messed up the chat there on StreamYard. There we go. There's the link, by the way, from Matt in the chat for the Instagram. Thank you for putting that there. But yeah, Igor too, looking great. Rempe, everybody's in love with Rempe's game. Yeah, cook those fools. Yeah, the Rangers controlled the pace easily. Yeah, the Rempe penalty was garbage. Got a penalty for being too tall. It was kind of like when Stamkos got that penalty for being Steven Stamkos. If you know, you know with that. But still. And how about this? The Garden laws got defied tonight, because the next one too, which I'll have a post game on my next channel, which, by the way, I did launch a next channel while I'm plugging things. If you have not checked out my next channel, I will plug that right now in the chat. We got Nick Central. I will do a post game there. I'm going to have to watch parts of the game. I was only able to watch, obviously, parts of it because of the Ranger game, and they get priority. I love the Knicks, but the Rangers get priority. So it is what it is. And then, yeah, I mean, I got to watch Alec Burks stink it up when I did watch the game. So that was fun. But we'll talk about the Knicks on Knicks Central. Go check it out there if you're interested. But yeah, this is what, they need guys like Rempe. Their physical play is making a difference. Yes, they're actually forechecking, and it's forcing turnovers. The Luke Hughes one in particular. Brodzinski, he didn't even like forecheck that hard, but a little bit of an effort even. Look at that. I hope they go more than that. Yeah, Rempe got screwed there. Yeah, I mean, thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, this win is definitely helping me feel better. It feels like my cold has just gone away and I could just scream and yap about this team all night now. But deep down, my nose feels terrible right now. I feel terribly congested. My voice is more annoying than it normally is now. And yeah, this is the type of defense they need on a consistent basis. Shots that tell a story, they shut them down. Also love the physicality they played with, swayed the game their way. The second line was great. Laffy, easily the best player. Not shocked either that Kreider and Mika look much better when they move their feet. Sucks that Igor didn't get the shutout. Yep. 1000% agree there. 1000% agree there. Have some scouts at the Kings Preds game. All right. I could understand that. Maybe get a look at Tommy Novak. Get a look at who else is there? Like I forgot who. Someone said they want Colton Sissons. I'm not really on that. I love Alexander Carrier on the back end. I'd love that. Yeah, I get some people don't like basketball. I get it. For me personally, I have been falling more in love with Knicks ball lately. And yeah, how about the Igor chance on the road too? How about the Igor chance on the road? Not the bad Igor chance, the Igor chance. I'd be down to come on a radio show, Robbie, if you ever want me to, shoot me a DM on Twitter and we could definitely talk about that. And no, I've never called into any radio stations personally. I'm not a big sports radio guy because WFAN, I mean, they don't talk hockey. And when they do, I'm sorry, it's egregious takes and they shouldn't talk hockey. They should be sticking the baseball, football, basketball. That's just my opinion. Hey, I owe Laffy an apology, man. I said on Twitter, I owe Laffy a apology. Yeah, I should start doing Instagram. Well, I should put this on Instagram and Twitter next time. Laugh, what's going on? No, I didn't see Laviolette's quote. Let's look for it. The Islanders sticking the joint up too. I'm a fan of that. Definitely a fan of that. I'd love to see if Laviolette said anything about the Rempe hit too. Nobody wants to see anybody get hurt, but it's just tough. He's a big guy. He was full steam ahead and kept everything down and tried to go through the body. I'm sure he hit everything, so it's tough. It's a tough call. I mean, yeah. I agree. I agree. Like, it's unfortunate that the guy got hurt on the play there, Bastion that is, but he's 6'8". Like, what is he supposed to do? Just not throw hits? Not throw hits? Lazzy posted it. Let's see. Shout out to Lazzy, by the way. That guy that we were talking about in the last post game who struggled to get, or didn't, I should say struggled, didn't get into the Stadium Series game because he was wrongfully screwed there by Ticketmaster and crew. Johnny Lazarus stepped in and made sure that the Rangers ended up getting him a deal, and now he's going to a game for free, got the refund back, and I'm sure he's going to get signed equipment and meet players and stuff, which it sucks because it doesn't fully compensate for it, but I'm happy for the guy. I don't know if he's in the chat or watching, but shout out to Ant. I'm happy for him that he's getting what he deserves there, but let's see, from Lazzy putting it. So Laviolette about the fans. The fans have been awesome. Going back to the outdoor game where it seemed like we had the majority of the fans in the building, they were outstanding. We go to road games. You look up and there's a sea of blue out there. These are loyal fans. I've learned they're not they're not new fans either. Man, this has been handed down from generation to generation, and they love the New York Rangers. To show up on the road like this and fill opposing buildings, that's just awesome. You're damn right, Peter. We are maniacs. We are maniacs. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's terrible. Sometimes I'm pissed off and I want to scream my damn head off and overreact one way. Sometimes I want to overreact the other way where I'm overly happy and booking the parade for this team. There's no in between with us. There's just no in between with us, and that's what makes us special. Love to hear that. Love to see that. And yeah, that's my damn coach. Run through a wall for the guy. I'm telling you right now, I'm telling you, and I've said it to myself, but I didn't want to put into the world because I don't want to jinx anything. But all I'll say is potentially I might have to consider getting a Laviolette jersey. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. I might have to get a Laviolette jersey. Like, that's my guy. Saps, what's going on? How you doing? How you doing, Saps? And yeah, Lindy, if only we could get Lindy chance, because I can't stand that guy either. Cannot stand that guy either. Lindy Ruff, that is, of course. I am shocked that the Devils have not fired him. Yeah, the Booch destroying the Islanders. That's nice to see. What did hurt to see is that apparently Buchnevich, the asking price from St. Louis, there's 2 first-round picks. Meanwhile, we got to see a second Sammy Blais come the Rangers' way. Yeah. Sorry to ruin people's evenings on that one. Joe B used to talk hockey when he did the overnights. Yeah, that's true. But like, he's not there anymore. It's just I didn't like Evan Roberts' take about the whole Ranger Islander thing. It's like I don't understand that. Kane got an OT winner. Detroit looking like they are poised to be a playoff team, and I didn't think they were like that early in the year. I thought they were a little fake, but all of a sudden they might sneak into the postseason. Yeah, that makes sense that Rempe's like a placeholder until the deadline. That's what I always thought of him as, but I like, if he's going to play this physical of a game, I'd like to see him get some ice time and not get kicked out of the game or sit in the box for a 5-minute major and, see what he can do a little bit. But yeah, if Rempe's going to be this much of a presence, like, they got to keep him around. I didn't even know he was still doing some of the radio. Yeah, Frank can't be happy. Minus 96. Yeah, I agree that Lafreniere needs to get power play one time. I still am on that bandwagon that he needs to get more power play time. He needs to, because he's arguably been the second best forward for this team this season. And I'm just like, I'm in shock still by it, because I wrote him off. I did write him off, but man, he's been unbelievable. And I don't think it's crazy to say that he's only going to get better. Like, if he's netting the chances like he did tonight, it's going to be fun to watch. And when I first read this, I thought you were talking about me, the first line there, because because of my name being the same. But yeah, Evan Roberts. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't understand. But that's just the rivalry to begin with. That like, am I crazy for saying the Ranger Islander rivalry is, or you couldn't see the quotes there, rivalry is overrated? Like, I know some of the older fans might say otherwise, which I can understand, but let's be real. Even if you're an older fan, it doesn't have the same juice it once did, Like, I wasn't even around really for when it did have the juice that it did. Like, from pretty much my entire lifetime, the Ranger Islander rivalry hasn't had a lot of juice to it, and it's just kind of been like, it's kind of just like another team. Like, it's just another game on the schedule. Like, the Devils, I feel like, are more of a rival. Like, tonight, you really felt some hostility. When they play Pittsburgh, you feel the hostility. Washington, you do. When they play the Islanders, it's like, I don't know. Like, I don't feel it as a rivalry. And yeah, I know he's a Islander fan. I was just confused because of my name being Evan. Also, I didn't know what he was. I thought that he was talking about me for a second. And he was making like a joke of a comment. I was just a little confused. And yeah, that breakout pass by Igor, beautiful. Yeah, Kane's not going to be on the trade block. No, he's probably going to extend in Detroit anyway, which good for him. He found a home. Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like, in my earlier years of fandom, it was there a bit, but like, I just mean it's died down as of recently. Like, that's all I mean. Especially since the Rangers have rebuilt. Like, I don't know. And yeah, they haven't played each other in a playoff series in a while. And yeah, in your day, it was nuts. I had a broken leg at a Ranger game and had to fight two Islander fans who poured beer on this kid's head. Damn. Yeah. But the Isles, no matter how bad they are, such where they always got up for the games versus the Rangers. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. You even saw it a bit in the Stadium Series. Like, that's a team that's not good this year. The Islanders are, I'm sorry, they are not a good hockey team this year. Those overtime losses, I don't know why I'm apologizing. Like, anyone in the chat cares, or there's any Islander fans here. If there are, I'm sorry, but the Islanders are not a good team this year. The 14 overtime losses mask the fact that they are a bad team. Like, they have the same win total. They have less wins than the Ottawa Senators. Let that sink in. The Ottawa Senators blow, and I know they blew the doors off the Rangers at one point, but all right, fine. You don't want to say them. They have one more win than the Montreal Canadiens this year. They're in Buffalo Sabres territory. Like, come on. Come on. Lou needs to have that thing rebuilt, but that's not happening with Lou at the helm. And you know what? As a Ranger fan, I'm not going to complain. Let them keep getting older. Let them keep being walking mediocrity. And the longer I don't have to deal with it, I'm fine with it. Do I think Igor starts on Saturday? Probably not. Probably not. Because at that point, it's going to be a very long time since Quick has gotten to action. It's going to be over a week since Quick has played a game at that point. And it's an afternoon game. I'd imagine they're going to go Quick, and then they're going to go Igor the next two. That's my prediction. I could be wrong. But I wouldn't rule it out because you could go Igor, go Quick on Sunday, go on Wednesday and Saturday, next Saturday, as the following against the Leafs, Igor, which I cannot believe we're almost in March already. That's ridiculous. But I could see that because Igor kind of owns the Leafs a bit. So I could see that. Rocco, my man. And yeah, Lafreniere doesn't get enough chances. Yeah, Anthony's like the only Islander fan I feel bad for. Anthony's a cool dude. And yeah, I agree. I stand by that point, and I said it all of last year that I was not a Devils believer. I said it going into the year that everybody was overhyping them. Nobody wanted to listen. I said going into the year that team, which don't get me wrong, think they could be good, and I think they could still maybe make the playoffs, but I didn't see the hype in them being like the no doubt, like everyone ruled them as, oh, they're easily going to be the first place team. Like what did everybody see last year that made them a first place caliber team? Yeah, Statboy Steven's going to be on the pod on Saturday. I think we're going to do like what time did I say? Now I got to check the group chat. What did I say? 1 or 12? Where is our group chat? There it is. What did I say? 1 p.m. 1 p.m. start. Got back from the Rock, took over. Love to hear that. Listen. As much as people hate me and call me a pessimist and fake fan with the way that I was pissed off in January, you could go back to all of my streams. You could go back to plenty of podcast episodes back in the off season, rolling into September, in October. You could go back then. I said that this team is getting slept on. I said that the Rangers would be in second place, and I said that they would even be battling for first place. And nobody wanted to believe me. If anything, the roles were reversed, honestly. Like back then, I was the optimist, and I was the only one really beating the drum that they'd be a first place caliber team and they'd win the division. And then it ended up being fans telling me, no, you're being biased. You're being way too optimistic. Laviolette's not that good of a coach. And then obviously things shifted in January, and I was the pessimist, and people told me I'm stupid. And now we're all sitting here happy right now. But to me, I'm still not fully moved until March. Stand by that. Yeah, I didn't see all the hype when Patrick Waugh got hired. Like, I didn't want the Rangers to get Waugh. Did not want the Rangers to get Waugh. And yeah, they're better without Pitlick and Bonino. And I feel bad that Wheeler got hurt, but yeah. And yeah, exactly. Bastian left himself vulnerable. That hit against a literal giant. Yeah. Exactly. And that's another point. Like, that happens to Lindgren and nobody bats an eye. I don't think that I stand by what I said about the President's Trophy. I don't think there's an actual President's Trophy curse. I think the whole reason that the President's Trophy, like, the thing is that it's just that some teams are better in the regular season than the playoffs. Like, I think it's just that simple. Or some teams just get too comfortable with how they played in the regular season. You know, like, I don't know. I don't think there's a curse personally. Yes, Dave, for sure. It was great meeting you at the tailgate. Great with everyone that met up at the tailgate. That was great. Everybody coming together for that game. This is why I wish, I love where the Rangers are. Don't get me wrong in terms of being in the heart of the city, Manhattan. There are times, though, I wish that we could be tailgating for Ranger games at home, because it was so fun to just be out there tailgating with everyone. Like, imagine a playoff tailgate before game one when they're going the face off against whoever it is this year. Love it. But we'll definitely meet up sometime. I'd love to do, like, I've thought of this. If the channel got big enough, what I really would love to do, I'd love to set up like a fan group outing for a game where it's like, 20 or 30 of us, like filling up 2 to 3 rows or so, not like a whole section. I don't, that's not going to be possible, but do like a giant, like do like a somewhat of a group there to a game and just make it as loud as possible, the Garden that night. Yeah, Pitlick scored for Hartford, yeah. Yes, did want to say this too. So our friends over at Big Apple Hockey, if you're not familiar with them, you should be checking them out. They have great hockey content, better than me because they cover the entire league. Mark, who is one of the hosts of their show, his father ended up passing away yesterday, which they were supposed to do a show yesterday. They had to postpone it because of that. And I feel terrible for Mark. So yeah, as much as we poke fun at him for the layups and everything, and we take jabs at him, deep down, We all love Mark and what he does there. And Big Apple Hockey, we love him. Wouldn't be possible without Mark. And yeah, I just, my condolences and prayers to him and his family during this time. So I hope Mark's doing all right now, which I just feel I just feel terrible. But hard right turn there because it's hard to segue out of that regardless. So let's just move on. When do you think a trade is made for this team? I think they roll until the deadline. Like, you're winning 9 in a row. You don't got to rush a move. The Rangers are kind of in a spot right now where, it felt like before with the way things were spiraling in January that a move had to be rushed. But now you're winning games. You don't got to rush a move. You don't got to rush a move. Wait until the market comes in your favor. And yeah, I didn't like the refs either. And I'm not a guy that bashes the refs either, but I agree. Yeah, I would absolutely love to I would absolutely love to make that happen one day if it's possible. A group meetup there, group outing. And yeah, I think they get a right wing and a center. I think they need a defenseman still too. And yeah, we love Mark. We love Mark. I do have to I do have to meet up with him at some point because I do still have his Blake Griffin jersey sitting where it's in one of my bags. Forgot to give it to him at the tailgate. So I do got to meet up with him at some point, but I don't think Stamkos is happening. I pretty much has been like rolled out. I would say there's a 0.01% chance Stamkos gets traded. Right wing and a big D, man. I'd like that. Yeah, no need to rush and overpay. Yeah, Sean Walker, I like him, but I don't think Philly's gonna deal him to the Rangers. Wow, Blake. Thanks, man. I learned it from you. I learned the great ability to be a superhero from you. And Pops. Gonna be a lot of fights on Saturday. If the Rangers play physical like this, oh yeah. They play Philly next game. The Rangers can't overpay that much. Giving up a second and Gaudreau for Stamkos, the Rangers would get fleeced in that deal. I don't know about that one. Wow, the Leafs are dominating the Golden Knights right now. Just looking at scores around the league, Ottawa beat Dallas. Don't know how. Pittsburgh got a win. That's a little shocking. Washington beat Tampa. What is going on tonight? And then the Islanders losing. Yeah, Booch hat trick. If the Devils miss the playoffs, they got to sell off to Foley. They got to sell off to Foley because they could get a good amount for him. Yeah, they better not. That would be a red flag right there. Yeah, we're doing a podcast episode on Saturday, so like a little pregame show there. We gotta figure out a day, Matt. I know you're in the chat. Us and the rest of and Nick and all of us, we need to figure out like a specific day to do the podcast of the week and just do it at a set week and time because I feel like that's keeping us off the map a little bit. Yeah, Mika, if you want free money, Mika is scoring on Saturday. Free money right there. The Blue Jackets are a forgettable team in general. I don't know how they got an outdoor game next year. I love Jordan Eberle. You know that. Yeah, that Timo Meyer contract is not looking good so far. It's year one of the contract, so I'm not gonna say it's a total bust yet because he is only 27 at the end of the day. But I will say that it's not looking good, bro. It's not looking good at all. And I'm not complaining. Yeah. We need to do the show weekly. I mean, Wednesdays are off limits. That's Big Apple Hockey slot. Thursdays off limits because that's I keep forgetting the exact name of their podcast with Brendan and Duke. The Ice Brew podcast, the Ice Brew show. I keep forgetting the actual name. Morning Ice Brew, whatever their name is. You guys know them. Brendan and Duke. They're great. But they occupy Thursday. So I don't know, it's a little tough. We're probably better off with a weekend. Yes. Everybody leave a like if you haven't already. I'd appreciate that. Yeah, we're gonna do a post game show. My God, I'm out of it today. We're gonna do a trade deadline show. It's going to be me, Matt. I guess if Nick wants to join, he'll be there probably. His brother Joe, Nico, Statboy Steven maybe, and then I think Big Apple Hockey wants to do a collaboration there as well. So I gotta communicate with them on that. Yes, like, share, and subscribe. I don't think Stevens like has his own podcast right now because I know him and Wardy did work together, but Wardy is kind of like he's kind of moved on to the Mets, like mainly focusing, not mainly, like only focusing on the Mets. And then he's featured a couple times on Nick's channels, but he's I haven't seen him really cover the Rangers lately. So yeah, in terms of that, I don't think Steven's currently doing his own show right now. Yeah, I do need to get Philk on for a win. Absolutely, Alexander. Absolutely. But I'm going to wrap things up here because I am not feeling well and I still have to do a Knicks post game show. That's fun. So, like I said, if you have not subbed to my Knicks channel, I'm going to link it one more time in the chat. Go sub to the Knicks channel there. So I'm going, and yeah, Wardy is expecting the baby soon. So that too. I mean, before that though, even he has not really done Rangers content, but yeah, for him, congratulations to him. So that he's gonna have the baby on the way soon. But like I said, I'm gonna do the next post game now. I'm gonna wrap this up. Leave a like if you haven't already. We have almost 80 of you guys in here. Let's try to get to 60 likes. Usually we get 50. Let's try to aim for 60 on this one. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys on Saturday.